Hey students and parents, Eric von Seggern, Spanish and drawing teacher here. My classes this year are going to be using a modified grading system out of respect for the fact that circumstances are extraordinarily difficult for some families this year and pretty much just extraordinary for everyone else. After doing a lot of thinking, talking to colleagues, talking to my administrators, I decided to go with a simplified grading system to go along with this, a simplified narrative grading system, I should say, to go along with the simplified letter reporting system that the school district will be using. As you know, we can only assign A, B, C, or incomplete grades this year. Um, and in each column, I've got some descriptions rather than a strict decimal cutoff number. That's the big difference. So let me get off the screen and I'll tell you more about it. I simply have a few descriptors that cover pretty much everything you would do in class at each level of proficiency and participation. An A student will be somebody who completes all or nearly all assignments. That's to recognize that there might be a circumstance in which even the most interested person has an access issue or has some other disruption in their life. I understand that. So I just want to see consistent quality work. An A student engages with the class regularly. I see them every day. If there's no reason to have their camera turned off, it's on so I can see their face. They interact with me. They answer questions when I ask in chat or out loud. When we do interactive activities over the web, we've got a lot of interactive electronic stuff that we do, and I want to see them participating fully in that, drawing pictures, responding to input from me online. Demonstrating proficient mastery sounds pretty advanced, but here's what that really means. It means simply being able to easily remember the vocabulary and do the functions with the vocabulary that we're learning. For instance, a first year student would be a proficient master if they can simply get through meeting somebody and have all the polite expressions that they need and understand what they're hearing from the other person. So a 20-second exchange would be proficient mastery in that task for a first year student. A person who's working at an A level is also professional in class. They respect the speaker. They are present. They only chat things that are connected to the class. They are helpful to other people, and they're willing to put in input when we discuss. That is what a person who respects norms and practices looks like. The rest of the grades simply walk down the quality level on each of those points. For instance, a person who's got at B level, they're still completing a lot of work. They're still engaged in class. They can still show me that they know how to do some things, maybe not quite as easily as a person who's a proficient master, but they can still do them. They also respect class norms and practices. They're professional and they're collaborative in class. A C student, somebody who's performing at the C level, I should say rather, is somebody who's pretty spotty in getting their work done. They're doing some assignments, but not all of them. And when I look at them, I can see that they're not really doing them with the level of care or thought that it's evident. So that's a person maybe whose their work isn't of the highest quality, and I'm not seeing a lot of it. It's a person who's there sometimes, and when they are there, they make their presence known or not. Sometimes there are people who just don't interact in class, and there are people who can't come every day, and I know that. But this is a person who, even when they're in class, they don't really seem like they're all there. This is a person who does have difficulty showing that they can remember vocabulary and learn and use it in context. This would probably be a person who, it could potentially, I should say, be a person who does things like putting things in the chat that aren't part of the class discussion, or perhaps engaging other behaviors that don't help. An incomplete really is reserved for the person who just isn't doing it, who just isn't here. They're not turning in but maybe one rare assignment. They're not present, they're not engaging. When I ask them to demonstrate what they can do, they can't really do much, and that would be incomplete. That's completely appropriate in that case. This might be a person also who doesn't behave well in the group, who doesn't assist the group, who doesn't contribute and participate positively. I haven't seen that yet this year. I'm not sure we're going to see anybody like that. I am really happy with the level of respect you guys are showing for each other in class. So that is the heart of how we're going to be doing this year. This gives a lot of flexibility for individual situations. And this lets me have a dialogue with the students about their work too. That's a little bit more of the big picture rather than just percentage on this test or on that assignment. So I look forward to meeting a lot of you this week and being able to answer any more questions you might have about this system. I expect that the average person is probably going to have as good or higher of a grade under this system as they would have had under a decimal system. And for some people, it's going to be a lifesaver. So I'll look forward to discussing it with anybody who wants to get more details at conferences, and I hope this has been helpful.